Hello everyone, this is a Vitus Nucleus 24. It's my son's bike. Great kids mountain bike. The value you get out of this is amazing. And he has a new upgrade that we just installed, which is the Brand X Ascend Kids Dropper Post. It adds 70 millimeters of dropper travel, and it also is really easy for lower weighted riders to push down, and it's a really easy lever to use. So the reason I wanted to make this video though is that the instructions have some things they say which would have made the installation actually a lot harder, and there was advice I received about installing the dropper which also would have made it harder for this bike. So given that this is a really popular model of bike, Vitus Nucleus 24, or do you say Vitus? You tell me down in the comments. But I actually wanted to share just these two tips. And so the first one is how to route the cable easily. And you don't need a special tool like the Park tool with the magnet that pulls the cable through. So how to route it, and then how to cut it, okay? So first of all, routing, I got advice that the easiest way was gonna be to come down through the seat tube and then go around and come out ultimately over here. Not so on this frame. It's actually easier to start here at the front, put the housing in, push it all the way down. And then what you want to do is on the bottom of the down tube here, hopefully this focuses well, you can see there's a little black plastic plug in the frame itself and just a hex key bolt right there that holds it in place. Loosen that bolt out, pull the black plug, and then you'll see the end of the cable right there, and then just use like a hex key, if you have one that's like I do, which is a right angle, like a little hook, and pull it out. It was so easy that way. And you've then routed it through, and you don't have to, spend an hour trying to fish it out of a small hole. Once you pull it out, you just come around the bottom bracket and you go back into the back of the seat tube here and push it up, and it'll pop up right here where you can work with it and connect it to the dropper. So next thing is, this is tip 2. At that point, the instructions say to measure the cable housing and cut it. Okay, that might be because they don't want you to accidentally cut the steel cable after it's inside. But I think that's the wrong move. Honestly, until you have the dropper post installed back here, you don't know how much cable is going to be hanging out up front. So what you want to do instead actually is measure your kid where he's going to sit and get it all connected, and put the seat in and clamp it down right where it needs to be. That's the first thing. Then push the cable as taut as you want it around the bottom bracket and out the front. Then what you do, okay? So now you've got the steel cable in here and you can't cut it to length, right? So you just unclamp the dropper and pull it out, and pull that inner steel cable out of the housing so that you can measure and cut it. And then what you do, you just measure it so that in the event of a crash, if the handlebars get turned all the way around, you've got enough slack in the cable that it won't pull anything out of the dropper. And so I've done that. Maybe I left it even a little too long, but I wanted to have a little extra to work with. And then once you do that, you put the seat back through, right? And the inner of this cable housing is lined with Teflon, so that cable just slide right in and come out the front here after you've cut it, so that you can install it into the lever. And then I guess here's a freebie for you, final tip. This cable will stretch, of course, since it's new. So after some use, you'll probably want to pull it through even more here so that it's a nice and well-working lever. But on the whole, that was one of the easier things I've ever installed, either on a bike or whatever, on anything. With those tips, I think you'll do great with yours. All right, thank you.